where do you have ideas? So one of the things that
on the bike, it's the best.
Also,
yeah.
Okay, so that's like a creative space for you.
Yeah, and the struggle becomes, and this is what I do. And even when I was younger, I mean, I had way before phones or flip phones or any phone. I just had a voice recorder, a little voice recorder that I could, because you get so much thought. You don't, obviously you're on a bike, you don't have a notepad, you don't have an assistant, you don't have all the devices we have now. So back then I would have this little dictaphone thing. It was small, but I had in my pocket. I carried my jersey pocket. And now I can grab my phone and just send myself a voice memo, or now with these phones, you can like voice dictate messages.
Yeah.
It's amazing. So, but it just starts coming.
Yeah.
But if you don't have a mechanism to record it, you'll forget.
Right.
I mean, it may circle back around a day later or a week later, but fuck, man, I don't want to lose all of this thought that I'm out there generating. Mm-hmm. So I try to capture it that way.
What's the best idea you think you've ever had?
Ever?
The
yellow wristband. No, that wasn't my idea. The best idea I've ever had. God dang. Nobody's ever asked me that question. Oh my Lord. Wow. And I don't get to come back to this one. I have to answer it. I mean, the best, I don't know if it's the best idea, but for me, because I too started reimagining my life and my brand through this space, through the podcast space, creating content like we are doing right now. That started phase one of that, which is what the show that you were on was, a religiously non-cycling show. Mm-hmm. And it was for a reason. I mean, I hated cycling. I hated the sport. I hated the industry. I hated the governing body. I hated everything. And, to one day wake up and go, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to turn around. And to go back into, just run straight back into the fire and create content around that. I mean, from a business perspective and from a, PR, I think when my life is done and they're telling the story, that decision will be the one where people go, holy shit, that's, he was having great conversations with interesting people like Heidi and Malcolm Gladwell and Michael Morton and Bo Jackson. But when he turned around and ran back into the fire, that was when the comeback really started. Mm-hmm. And so that was probably a guess. I mean, I'm sure I'm forgetting a lot of things, but yeah. I wouldn't be in the position that I'm in now without that decision.
Yeah. So, did it take a lot of courage
to turn around?
To come back in?
No, I mean, it was funny. I tried to, maybe it did. I tried to think of it as just sort of, whatever, we'll just go do this, and it really was, it was kind of a joke because I talked to my manager, Mark Higgins, who's the guy who, the Forward, my original podcast, was his idea. So when I called him, I was like, what if we just did a tour show? And he's like, all right, well, what's that look like? And he's like, you're not just going to sit there by yourself and talk about it. I was like, I don't know. Fuck, we got to find somebody else to talk with. I'll talk to. And JB is a bit of an old friend of mine. And I knew, I was like, well, JB knows enough about cycling to be dangerous, has spoken to America in the sense of Main Street and First, his entire career being a morning DJ in Austin. Mm-hmm. A pop music morning DJ, which really is speaking to First in Maine. I'm like, well, let's just get JB. And so I just kind of was like, fuck all this. We'll fucking make it up as we go along. And I was like, JB's got that Airstream studio. Just tell him to drive it up here. I mean, it was, this is exactly how it happened.
I remember.
And so I was maybe just giving myself cover. I mean, look, there could have been 6 people that listened. But we just took this, we had no pressure. We had no expectation. We just wanted to have fun. we were totally irreverent and raw and honest. And instead of 6, it was 6 million.
Yeah. Super authentic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very. I mean, but by the way, I don't work for anybody.
No, I know. Well, and
So-
you've always been, I mean, that's who you are, you know?
Yeah. And and then I tell people all the time, like, I wouldn't trade this, what I'm going to go home to tonight. So what are we, September of 2009. I wouldn't trade it for any day ever in my life, ever. And I've had some highlights and some big times and some good times. And so, we're on a path here that's fun, that's really, really, really fucking authentic.